Am I the a-hole for calling my parents terrible parents during a family argument? Some quick background to get us started. I'm 5 years older than my sister. My parents sucked at adding to the family. They told me mom was pregnant the day I was going to my aunt's for the weekend, and they explained it to me that the baby was going to be the most important person in the family. How I got to be the most important person for 5 whole years, and before that, mom and dad were that for each other. But now she was coming. I was devastated. I pretty much assumed I would be replaced totally, and it's not all that far from what happened. They let the ball drop with me, and were not as attentive as they used to be. Nowhere even close. They missed a lot, and it took years for it to feel like they cared again. When I was 18, I moved out, and soon after I found out they had been approved to be foster parents. I wasn't told about any of this until it was done deal basically. I knew it was a terrible idea, but my sister had gone along, and so had some other family and friends, except my aunt, who was vocal about not being sure how good an idea it was, given how poorly they handled adding a second child to the family. Their foster daughter arrived, and it was a very big change for my sister. Suddenly, she was ignored. She felt unwanted and had such a hard time coming to terms with how distant our parents became after 13 years of being the center of attention. Their foster daughter was 11, and I do feel bad that she was thrown into the mess because she had no stability before, from what I was told, and was pretty much always unwanted. What ended up happening was, a couple of months ago, the caseworker called and my sister exploded and said how shitty things were. Things unraveled and the foster daughter was removed from the home. My sister went to live with me. She's 16, and my parents are furious with her. Our aunt has her back in this as well as me. Unto the reason for the post. I was at my aunt's with my sister. My parents showed up to argue it out. They turned on my sister and my aunt for having their foster daughter removed and saying how selfish and heartless she was. I cut them off and told them it wasn't her fault. It was theirs. If they weren't such terrible parents, none of this would have happened. They said I'm supposed to be grown now, and it was a childish comeback and an a-hole move to throw out the way I did. Are they right? Am I the a-hole?
NTA, it sounds like they had it coming for a long time, and I am astounded you or your sister haven't snapped before this. I'm so sorry that you had to experience that kind of childhood. Neglect comes in all shapes and sizes. Edit. I should also point out that it is a good thing that girl was removed from their custody. She needed a stable home, not to be used as a shiny new child for them when they apparently got bored of your sister. Also, Op deserves some recognition for not having any resentment toward their sister, and rightfully laying that at the feet of the parents. Very, very often in cases like this, the oldest child ends up not bonding with the sibling and feeling misguided negativity toward them. Right or wrong, it happens often. That Op cares about and supports their sister is commendable. Emo. I find this disgusting. They calling Op childish when they are the ones skipping from one daughter to another after getting sick of the previous one. Probably not the reality, but I got the strong image of children switching from one toy to another. Your NTA, good from you and your aunt to protect your sister. NTA, I have 2 kids, 4 years old and 3 months. My husband and I work hard every day to make sure both kids get individual love. We've taught our older child to tell us about her feelings and to let us know when she feels like she isn't getting attention. That doesn't mean she automatically gets it, but she knows we hear her. She gets just her time with each of us. It's hard work, and it's exhausting. I say all that because what your parents did isn't how it had to be. They were bad parents in that regard. Your feelings, no matter the age, are valid. Your sister's feelings are valid. Your parents failed you. One of the best suggestions I heard when I was pregnant with my second was to sometimes say not now baby. I'm playing with big brother/sister now, so the older child sees that sentiment works both ways. It's my favorite parenting sibling advice. Basically the exact opposite of what Op's parents did. NTA Op. I have a 7-year-old and a 1-year-old, and it took time, but we made it clear we don't love one, more than the other, and that both are equally important. We had to sit down and explain to 7 that they will get equal attention, however the attention is going to look different. 7 is older and more independent, while 1 needs to be watched more carefully as he's a speed demon who constantly likes to grab things. But we show 7 in special activities that he's never forgotten, and we're always here for it. It's all about finding the balance, and Ops parents really screw the pooch on that. NTA. Ops parents definitely are though. Exactly, it's so hard a lot of the time for them to find suitable placements for foster kids, that if there is no major issues the kid will generally stay put in that home. The fact that they removed the foster kid based solely on Ops sister statements, while there had to have been some truth in there that CPS or whoever felt it was warranted to move the kid elsewhere. NTA 100x over. Sound like shitty parents. NTA, that's child neglect, and it's the main reason the people from foster care took her away. Ike, what's wrong with your parents? If they're incapable to raise more than 1 kid at the time, then why would you even have more? The heck? Hope you and your sister are doing alright, Op. NTA at all. When you have kids, you can't just pick favorites. They've clearly done that and spent this whole time putting 1 kid above their other kids. My grandparents and great-grandparents did the same crap to my dad when he was a kid. Anyways. Your parents are TA in this situation. I'm glad your aunt is backing you and your sister up, by the way. Glad that foster child got out of there. Shame on your parents.